It's an early morning shave. I am tired. Go back to bed. Let's take care of this. Nacet. 202 uses. There's my little O2 right there. Chiseled Face Midnight Stag Challenge issued by Stephen Joyner of Dogwood Handcrafts. Here's how my soap is looking near the end of the 31 shaves for Midnight Stag. My aftershave is also part of the challenge. Midnight Stag as well. We have a Zenith B2 boar brush. Just needs a few minutes of soaking and it is good shape. And my razor is the Timeless Open Comb 68 gap stainless steel. And it handles this old blade really well for me. Get my face wet. And we'll just go back. Yesterday was a dry method, I think, where I just squeezed out all the moisture out of the brush and loaded and stuff. Let's just go back to Old Faithful. Shake most of the water out of the brush. And 7-second load. There we go. Take my syringe, put in 2 teaspoons of water, and that is a recipe that I've used several times this month, and I'm confident that it will deliver me probably 4 passes of nice lather. This base does seem to be fine with me adding all the water up front. There are some that don't, but this one seems to be good with it. Right now, a little too bubbly and airy. It's alright. Just mix through that, mix past it. Since not very strong. It's also possible I've kind of become nose blind to it after using it all month. But I enjoy it. There's something in there that I am picking up. Maybe a little bit of wood and smoke, leather. Yeah, the gasoline scent has kind of backed off a little bit. And not too much time. There's it's not liquidy and bubbly anymore. I don't think it's done yet. But it's looking good. So this is my September 2nd shave, which means I've just got 2 more to complete my 31 shaves. That was supposed to be in August, but I had problems. I had some extenuating circumstances. All right. Just 7 seconds of loading, and look how much soap we're dealing with. Much lather. Let's roll with this. Wet my face one more time. Excuse me. Probably have to add a few drops of water to my first pass. Gonna help things out. A little bit more lather. Lather feels real good. Working it into the skin so that I get good protection over the course of the shave. All right. Clear the areas that aren't going to be shaven. And here's that Nacet blade that's been cranking for so long. Little X on the bottom side down here shows it's the same one as I've been using. I'm careful not to touch the blade edge to anything that I can possibly avoid touching it with. Even the paper envelope, I put it in there very carefully when I do that. Feels good. No, I feel a little bit of the blade, but no tugging to any negative amount. I mean, just a tiny, tiny bit. Sorry, my water at this location is so loud and angry. And rinse. All right, second pass lather. Well, the true test of the lather for me is, does it protect me? And that it did very well. So I know that my lather mix is good. That's the whole point of it. Cross grain now. Just lightly holding the razor as usual. Sometimes I feel like it's almost just sitting in my hand instead of me holding it. good. Very comfortable pass there. That first pass left some stubble. Sometimes the first one doesn't, but it's not a problem because I enjoy 3 passes, and so that second one, makes up for whatever the first one lacked. And then the third one is usually just to kind of polish things off. And I've got plenty of lather today. So see that 7 seconds seems like such a small amount, but look at how much lather I'm ending up with. Oh, there's that nice scent of the soap. Got a good jolt of it right there. Just kind of light touch, very light touch that I can, as light as I can go while still keeping contact. And I believe that has done it. Yeah, nice cut right there. Happy with that. And like I showed you, 7 seconds of loading, and I've got 2 passes left over. So it's not too little by any means. Alright, well, I'm going to clean up my gear, but while my face is still wet, I'm going to take this time to put on the alcohol splash. This thing's got some good skin food in there for you. It does have the alcohol, but it has witch hazel, aloe, calendula, and vitamin B5. Of course, it's also got the menthol too. I kind of would rather it did not have that, but that's the way it is. Bakers can't be choosers. No stinging at all, so that it's telling you that I'm not dealing with a rough blade. It's being kind to my skin. It may take a little bit extra buffing, but that's all it takes. And in a way, if you can learn the best strokes for your face, the best angles, the best, I've learned this area right here and some of the different ways that I need to come at that to efficiently pick that up and take care of that, the hair growth there. And sometimes a sharper blade, a younger blade, might not let you be as efficient because it's just so sharp. And so now I have much more efficient shaves when I go back to a younger blade because I've already trained in kind of the best possible, strokes for certain areas. And so you definitely learn to be more efficient with your technique with older, duller blades. So about 2 extra passes I had at the end of the shave, and I did end up just using the 2 teaspoons of water plus a few drops for that first pass. We are all done. So just 2 more shaves after this to complete the Midnight Stag Challenge. And this is Ultra Nightmare Mode for Austere August. Means I'm using the same gear, same soap and razor and brush and even blade. for the whole month. The side challenge of Midnight Stag was brought to us by Stephen Joyner at Dogwood Handcrafts. It's his favorite scent, and he said he was just expecting 3 of us to adopt his challenge, to be rewarded with one of his awesome brushes, but I think 14 of us did, so he's going to be making some of those brushes for a little while. But so it's very generous of him. He put himself out there, and he makes good stuff. So I definitely don't have a problem recommending him to you guys and his brushes. He's a good guy as well as a good craftsman too. So there we go. All right, well, I'm all done. Face smells good. The cooling action's kind of still going on, but I've kind of gotten used to it over the month. And the other parts of the splash really do kind of help my skin to feel good. A good oily skin anyway, so the alcohol is a little bit of a welcome. But the witch hazel and some of those other elements tend to help calm down and temper the alcohol, help it not to be quite so harsh. And I'm glad about that too. So there we go. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves, and I hope this has been helpful, good for you in some way. You take care. Good night.